Hi guys, how you doing? I hope you're all okay. We're all still under lockdown where I live, even tighter. I'm not even supposed to leave the house at the moment. There's a holiday, so they don't want people to travel to each other's houses for the holiday, so there's a pretty hard lockdown on for the next 24 hours. I don't know if you can hear, but usually you can hear the road outside. One car going by. Okay, so because we're all locked down, we're all in need of some exercise. It's especially people in apartment blocks. I'm lucky we have a garden and my daughter can get outside and exercise. But she was pulling herself up and down on a rusty pipe that was poking out of a wall. This looked very dangerous and about to break, so I took it out of the wall and she was a bit upset. So without her knowledge, I've decided to make some kind of stand that she can use to pull herself up and down. So first of all, I need to make this piece of sapele round. I have a lathe. Now I understand you probably don't have lathes. So I'm not going to turn it on the lathe. I'm going to do it with a hand plane. So I'm going to take it over to the workbench, put it in the vise and start to plane off the corners. Alright, so here's that piece of sapele. I marked across because I thought I was going to put it on the lathe, and I thought it's a little more relevant perhaps to do it with some hand tools. So now I took a piece of a roll of tape, placed it on the end and drew a circle. So I know how much to remove from the corners. I'll bring that in a bit closer, look. So I drew a circle. And now I know how much to remove from the corners and start to get it round. So now I'm just going to try and grab it by the corners in the vise. If you don't have a vise, check out on my channel. There's a bunch of videos about how to hold wood without a vise. So let's go and have a look over there. Let's see what's... So your first pass, you just get very, very little small curls, because it's just the corner. And then they get bigger and bigger. A friend of mine, a carpenter, and a wooden boat builder, isn't that beautiful? Showed me to do this many years ago when I needed a paddle for a kayak. And I couldn't find the kind of paddle I wanted at the time. So I decided to make one with his kind help. And this is the way we made the shaft. Isn't that beautiful? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep having a look at my circle and take off the corner until I get close to the circle that I drew. You see they're getting wider and wider. I'll flip it over. And it gets easier to hold now because I've got a flat edge. So now I just continue going on and taking off these corners until I get 8 equal faces. These are smaller than these at the moment. So now the sides are starting to look equal. So the thing I need to do now is to start take off these new corners. Actually, I can take a bit more off the end here, I see. I took off more in the middle than on the end. So as you see, it's becoming rounder and rounder. And each time, I just take off the new corner. I'm quite happy with the way that is, actually. I think that gives my daughter a bit of extra grip than just totally round. I could sand it now like this, you know, with a belt of sandpaper. But I actually think I'm just going to leave it like this, which is kind of grippy and nice. And if it's not nice, well, she'll let me know. All those lovely curly whirly shavings. Nice. Okay, so I'm back in my yard. I've come back from the workshop, and because we're in a total lockdown at the moment, this means I couldn't take a car, so I carried my tools back in my backpack. So let's see what I bring. I brought a couple of clamps. Always should be useful for building. I've got a saw, a set square, an impact screwdriver, and a drill. Both of these guys are 18 volts, so they'll have a bit of power. And of course, a spare battery and a charger. Let's have a look, what else we got in here? A bevel gauge. This is like for taking angles, because I'm probably going to have to use some angles in this project. Some long screws, caliber, a mixed bunch of drill bits, tape measure, some not quite so long screws, spoke shave, and yeah, that's about it. That's what I brought. So I also going to need somewhere to work, so I also don't have any sawhorses with me. So I've got a folding chair and a ladder. I'm sure this will help. Now I've got some wood here. I pulled out of my wood pile. They're all door frames, basically. Both of the... this one was never a door frame. This was part of a partition wall once, I think. These are door frames, and this is old door frames as well. These are from a sliding door. And yeah, I've got some other boards like this lying around too. So I was thinking that to make this structure, I'm going to make A-frames. So an A-frame, it's like this. An A-frame, it's the letter A. Like this, and then another A. And to hold all this together, put one across here. Now it looks like a giant letter A, and it's called an A-frame. And then I'll put this, what I prepared earlier, will go here, and everything will stand up, and then my daughter will be able to pull herself up and down like that. So that's my basic plan. I should take some measurements, see. Okay, sure. So I'll lay them down now a little bit more accurately. Because I'm working on these bricks, I've took this join of the bricks as my center line, like this, and this is my baseline, then I can count bricks out. So I've got 2.5 bricks, 2.5 bricks from my center line. I've overlapped one board on the other, and that's going to give me the angle. Now, so now with a pencil, I'm going to mark off this angle. That will hold or not. Okay. I have an audience.
Are you making a movie?
Yeah.
Okay, no one understood?
Huh?
Camera there, okay, well. What are you building?
A pull-up for my daughter.
What is interactivity there?
What to do? Well, certainly warms you up, this work. There we are. That's not too bad at all. So this piece came out quite good. I'll cut the other one. This handsaw is definitely not the sharpest, but as you see, managed to do it. I'm feeling a little silly I didn't bring a sharper saw, but there we are. I've got some more nails here. I'll pull those out. There we go. Not bad. I've got 2 more of these to cut. Oh dear, look what I did. I cut twice the angle of the angle I was supposed to cut. Because I laid this one on this one, and then I cut this angle. And that's not right, is it? What I should have done is cut this angle, the center line, where I marked my center before. That's the angle I should have cut. Oh well, so this is going to get me fit and healthy. I need to mark this out and cut them all again. Okay, so after some deliberation, this is what I've decided to do. I'm going to go with the double angle on one side and a straight edge on the other side, because when I marked out that angle, where is it? Oh, it's on the other end of this board. When I marked out that angle, see what a huge joint I need to cut here. It's massive, and to do it with that handsaw, it's nearly a rip cut. I decided I don't want to do that, 4 of those. So okay, so that's the solution. Like I say, I'm just going to use the one side straight and one side cut at the twice the angle I need. I'm going to drill a pilot hole and whack a screw through here. Reinforce this area afterwards with a bit of plywood. Yeah, it's pretty much the same, I think. Good. We need a board there. So Now I'm going to cut out a couple of triangles to reinforce the top of these A-frames. This is some outdoor grade plywood that I got from a packing case from Canada, I believe. So this stuff says it's good for outdoor, and this is going to be outdoors, so I feel confident using it. I've decided to drill the 30mm hole in the plywood first, and then I'll put this piece on the other piece of plywood and drill through it so it'll be in the same, exactly in the same place. Then afterwards I'll drill a little bit deeper into the leg. I didn't want to make it fall on the joint. I'm going to put it in the center of the one leg. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. Through. There we go. And now I'm going to lie this on the other piece. Maybe put a clamp just to make sure it's in the right place and drill the other one. There we are. Lovely. Okay, so one for that side, one for this side. So now I'm just going to make sure they're both flush with this end. And I'm going to screw that on. Box of mixed screws here that I've taken out of all sorts of things I've dismantled, or I don't know what. It's a bit of a mixed batch, but I feel good recycling things. Makes me happy, actually. Strange person. Okay. Now I just want to drill a little bit deeper in so that the bar will be nice and firm inside. So I'll just change the drill bit back. How deep will I go? Good. I would like to go in, where's the meter? I'd like to go in a little bit more than the diameter of the bar. So now I'm in the same, that's 30 and this is 30. So I'd like to go in another centimetre. Nice and deep. What we got there? 4 centimeters, great. And I'm going to do the same on the other one. There we are, 4 centimeters. What we're going to do now, we're going to straighten the bottom of the legs. That's what we're going to do now. I marked this one out. So I need some way to hold all this in the air while I cut it. Well, let's see what we can do with the trusted chair. If you went and watched the How to Saw Straight video, maybe some of you are asking, why is he not doing it on the kitchen table? Well, I think you know the answer to that one, guys. Okie dokie. Still remains to cut these bits off, but I'll do that later. Oh, love it. So what I should do now, I'll mark 4 centimeters so I know it went in all the way. That one's a bit tight. Just need to do it with the spoke shave a little bit. Give that a bang with a hammer afterwards and it'll be in. Let's have a look. Here we are, it's starting to take shape. Okay, so I've got the bar all the way in. And I drilled and screwed from here to lock it so it won't turn and it won't come apart. Now I have the measurement from outside to outside, and I'm going to cut a couple of pieces of this board I have here and put them at the bottom to stop it doing this. Now we're going to see how well it deals with racking after that. But, okay, that's what I'm going to do now. Okay, so what I decided to do, I've got a couple of these 2x4s or 5x10s. I'm going to plonk them inside, like this. And I'm going to screw to those. I'll pick them up off the floor a bit, so they won't get rotten. I'm going to screw those in. And now maybe this will help. We will see. Let's see how this helps. So I'm going to put a spacer under here. Okay, so all this is screwed in tight now. I've cut these pieces off, and yeah, the racking has just about disappeared. It doesn't do this anymore. These are like 10 centimeters and thick as well. Big screws, pilot holes, and so look. Great. Well, of course she's shorter than me, so that's cool. So I'm going to give it a bit of a sanding now and break the corners. I've got some sandpaper, some 80 grit, which is rougher, some 120 grit, a bit finer. You can check out my videos about how to sand by hand if you're not quite sure what those numbers mean. And I've got a little funny old, very cheap hand plane that was given to me as a present, which I use at home because I don't have much tools at home, believe it or not. They're all in my workshop, and because of the lockdown we can't get to the workshop. So there we go. So I'm going to use what I've got and just start to clean things up a bit. Hi guys, okay. So there we go. I've just finished giving it a sanding by hand all over. And that's it, it's finished. Maybe I'm going to give it a coat of paint later, but that's not for this video. So there you go, that's how I built this, I don't know what you call this, exercise bar or something. If you like the video, please like, subscribe, share it with your friends, and hope to see you in the next one, guys. Take it easy. Take care. Bye.